Hi, this is Mihai, and I would like to offer some practical suggestions, recommendations, and exercises, tools to support all of us going through this Circle of Being Somatic Shadow Work 10-week module. So this is week 1. So, as we talked in the circle, I strongly recommend to develop a practice of meditation, mindfulness practice, awareness practice, presence practice, no matter how you call it. And this can be cultivated in multiple ways. There is the formal sitting meditation, allocating some time during the day to do that. This is number 1. Number 2 is that cultivating some reminders to remember to be present throughout the day, not just during meditation, but driving, walking, eating, when we are in line at the post office, when we are working. So cultivating this sense of being aware of oneself and the environment in everyday life, being conscious, being more there. So this is number 2. And I think this will be good for now, for week 1. This is very essential to kind of jumpstart our sense of presence, which is here. It's that which is aware right now. However, it's kind of, most of us, almost all of us, it's dormant and it's sucked into thoughts. And the thoughts in the mind is always somewhere else, past, future, desires, worries, suffering with what's not happening all the time. So from the point of view of later facing our own wounds and traumas and learning how to deal with strong feelings and becoming aware of strong patterns that undermine our life and transcending them and no longer going with them. We can't do that if we are asleep to the moment and unconscious of what's happening. So let me talk first about the first suggestion about developing a meditation practice. This is important in a way that for many of us we can say, well, I would like to be more present in everyday life, but we are busy, so we forget almost all day, every day. So the formal sitting meditation will be a way to put our money where our mouth is and actually really carve some time out of the life to do that. This will be like an oasis in which we just focus on nothing else but our own inner self, our presence, cultivating attention, mindfulness, and the whole wealth of what true meditation has to offer. So I will put in the body of this message. So I have a playlist of maybe 80, 90 guided meditations, guided witnessing presence meditations. So if you are new to this, it may be hard to kind of sit by yourself and you may not know what to do and all of that. Even if you are not new to this, there might be some kind of resistance or inertia or whatever, laziness or confusion, or somehow you get bored or you get sleepy or antsy. So it may be helpful for some of you to use some of my guided meditations. So there's a whole playlist which I put in the homework email, and as well as here there will be guided witnessing presence meditation. You can use any of them, and I recommend to spend some time, maybe at least 2 or 3 days a week doing some of these guided meditations. Or some of you guys that are, don't have enough time, or you don't necessarily want to listen to the guidance, and you already have a solid understanding of true meditation, then you can just sit by yourself in silence, or you can use some kind of tape with some bells or some kind of meditative music. The bells are very good. Thich Nhat Hanh has some nice mindfulness meditation, big bell, which is as a way of an alarm clock, as a reminder to, because we may check out into daydreaming and not even know that we are checked out. So the bell or some chimes will be a way to check ourselves and come back to being just in the now. So I really recommend that, based on your willingness and time, how much you want to dedicate to this and where you are in life. I recommend a minimum of, like, let's say 12 minutes. 12 minutes a day will make a difference, or you can go 20 minutes or half an hour. In terms of technique, you can, is in the email that I'm sending as the first message. First week, I explained there a little bit more about principles of meditation. But the idea is to start with watching the breath as an anchor into the now, in order to overcome this tendency to be in daydreaming. We are daydreaming all the time. You haven't noticed yet, but the more you become aware, you will notice that. So watching the breath as like you are tying yourself to the mast. This is an ancient concentration technique. When the mind is very scattered, there's not enough presence, awareness in the system, so this will be like a stabilizing, bringing yourself into the now. So you can use that for like 5-10 minutes. So just staying with the body, breathing with the nostrils, with the inhalation, exhalation, not checking out in past and future, and just bring yourself back. Whenever you check out, you bring yourself back. I recommend that. If the mind is very, very busy, you may want to do that for longer. You can use this technique from Zen meditation to tame, so to say, the monkey mind, is by being aware of the breathing, staying with it as if it's a baby or watching a baby, and you can internally count 1 breath, 2 breaths, so you can count and up to 10 breaths, a cycle of 10 breaths, and try to stay not going into daydreaming for the duration of a cycle. That will be hard. As soon as you catch yourself that you checked out in daydreaming, then you remind yourself, where was the last number I remember? Oh, it was 5. Okay, bring yourself 6, yeah, and 7. So for some of us who have really active, busy mind, it may be recommended to stay with the concentration on breathing, mindfulness of breathing, for maybe 2 or 3 cycles of 10 breaths. Yeah. If the mind is not so busy and you're already more quiet, or you have a lot of experience with that, just focus on the breath a little bit, just a few minutes, and then I recommend you let go. For all of us, let go of narrow focus concentration and just simply being present to the totality of the now experience, and including the 3 realms. The realms of thought, there will be images, memories, voices, songs coming and going. With these thoughts, the idea is to just notice, don't get involved, don't stick to them, being the watcher, as if thoughts are clouds and birds. Notice them, don't get involved. You may get hooked. As soon as you realize you're hooked, come back. Don't beat yourself up. That's another thought. So aware of the realm of thinking, also aware of the realm of the world. Like there's the wind now, there's a rustling of the leaves, so sounds, being aware of sounds, being aware of temperature, just being like a cat, yeah? So we are not just internally unaware of the environment, so we are aware of the environment through the senses. This is the second realm. And the third realm is the inner body experience. So the sensations, contractions, feelings, emotional states, energies, just noticing them without trying to fix them, without trying to change them, without trying to analyze them, without going into processing. just welcoming, even if it's unpleasant, in particular if it's unpleasant, noticing the unpleasantness, energy, sensation, contractions. Notice and allow. Notice and allow. Yeah? So the idea is that after dropping the concentration of watching the breath, open your attention and being present to the totality of the experience, thoughts, sounds, sensation, feelings that come and go. Just noticing, gently noticing. When you get hooked, lost, come back. That's it. In terms of cultivating this state of mindfulness or presence, the living now, just the idea is to jumpstart this quality of aware presence, that you're just here, conscious. You don't need thoughts in order to perceive. Being conscious of the outer world, inner world at the same time, you are the witnessing. Ideally, to have this, you start the day like this. That will make a big difference in your life. Otherwise, in terms of cultivating this state of being more in the here and now, present, not checked out in everyday life, I recommend, I'll put another playlist here called Tools. Tools of practices and exercises to bring more presence, mindfulness in everyday life, in busyness. We are not monks. So I recommend you watch some of these videos from the Tool series. I recommend you watch maybe 4 or 5 and try to apply them the best you can. These are tools, techniques, awareness practices to not have this presence compartmentalized just for meditation, but to be more in everyday life, from Zen, from the Fourth Way, from various traditions. Yeah, so you have the guided meditation playlist below, and you have the tools playlist below. I encourage you to watch as homework maybe 4 or 5 of those tools and try to apply them. And yeah, this really, if you put some time into this will make a big difference in your life, and also it will give you it will jumpstart some superpower in us that we need in order to face deeper stuff in ourselves that we want to face, part of this module. All right, so enjoy, and feel free to bring any questions, comments when we meet next time. All right, ciao.